Okay, we're ready. Pokemon ain't happening, bro. Don't mind my old projects. Let's see. Alright. Let's make a 3D game. I'm not in the mood for 2D right now. I believe I was going to put this in D. Minigolf? Maybe. That's maybe. Maybe. I mean, maybe. I like that idea. That's definitely my top one idea so far. Oh, okay. There we go. Project name. Is this a real suggestion? None of that. Steam Proj. Nope, not Steam. Stream. There we go. Okay. So, last minute thinking, last minute chance to turn in ideas, otherwise I'll probably just mess with the Minigolf thing. Alright, let's forget the project settings for a second and go with Minigolf, I guess. Thinking about the best way to go about this. Let's start with just a big old cube, or a plane, I guess it would be. I'm thinking. Just want to make sure I'm not doing a wrong foundation here. Okay. Game object. Create. Nope. Component. Mesh. Nope. What's this? Game object. 3D object. Plane. There it is. Why is it so far down there? There. Okay, and for lighting we have a sun directional light, which I can, change the rotation value, etc. Not a big deal. I'll leave it like it is. So, first things first, we need a ball. So let's do that. Game object, 3D object, sphere. We now have a ball. Whoops, hold on. This is called... Maybe edit this. Floor. This is called ball. And the ball, why is it so far down? Ball needs to go here. It doesn't need to be that big, that's for sure. And we're gonna give this a different color. We're gonna have to make a new material because I can't customize this at all. It's just the default material. So let's do that. Let's go to our project. In fact, I'm gonna move that over here. Alright. Assets. Scenes. We're going to create a folder called Texture Materials. And in the Materials folder, I'm going to create a new material called Ball. I'm going to drag that onto here. Then we can modify its albedo to make it a bit orangey. What color are ping pong balls anyway? I'm gonna go with orange. And not quite as specular, I guess. A little less smooth. Alright, that's gonna have to do it. Also, it does not need to be that big. I don't know, how big is this? Like, where's my reference? Scale is 1. What does that mean? 1 meter? Because it's definitely not 1 meter. Let's make it like 0.1. Okay, that's a little more promising. Boop. There is no scale. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's Blender has the scale. Not what I'm using. Alright, next thing. We gotta add physics. Quickly done by... Well, this already has a sphere collider. And this has a mesh collider. So... It may already be a thing. Let me play and see. No. Nope, I need to add, I need to add, like, rigid body elements to it. So not only does it have a collider, that's actually, no, the plane just needs to stay having a collider. We don't want it to fall into nothingness. The ball, however, needs to have a rigid body component. We'll leave it like that for now. Now, we need a control of some type. Eventually, we want to actually make it do something. How do I go up and down? There we go. But for now, I just want it to be WSAD controlled. Just kind of roll around. So, assets, new folder, scripts. In this folder, we shall create a C# script called... what's it going to be called now? I think it's going to be called roll ball. No, actually, it's just going to be called ball, because we're going to attach it to the ball. Like so. Now, if we look at the ball, it has the script attached. Now, let's open that script and start editing. No, I haven't. Not yet. That's important, though. We don't want to just WASD our ball around through the course, for sure. Alright. So first things first. If input dot get key... Yeah, just get key. W. You can... I mean, there's not a lot to go on here. I need... So, okay, this is... W is going to do what exactly? It's going to increase its speed in what direction? Relative to the ball? No, I don't want tank controls. I just want a simple, like, quick roll-around test here. Well, first of all, let me just play it and make sure that it drops to the ground. Boop. It sure did. Now I'm also going to move the camera to maybe like this position. How do I do that? Well, move to view, align to view. There we go. That's what it is. So now when I start, we'll be in the same view as I was right just now. Lovely. The it attaches instantly to the ground because of the lag starting up, I think. So anyway, I think what forward needs to be is just positive X. So in fact, let me move the ball. Let me move the ball back here. Like here. And then, is there a shortcut for this? Aligned Control-Shift-F, okay. So W will be positive X, A will be positive C, D will be negative C, S will be negative X. Simple enough. Now we're going to have to experiment with the speeds and stuff, because this is going to apply a constant force, like every frame. Just as a reminder, okay. I sure can. Absolutely. Yeah, sorry, my screen is a bit high. Yeah, that's my bad. Let's do this. Is 150 good enough, or is that still a bit too small? Perfect. Okay. First of all, I hate calling get component on every frame. I absolutely hate that. I don't care how optimized it is. So what we're gonna do here is private RB. Actually, rigid body RB. And when it starts up, we're gonna say RB equals get component of type rigid body. Then we can say rigid body dot add force. Now, there's a lot of options here, and I always forget what they do. So, add relative force is relative to its coordinate system. I'd have to look up the documentation on that. I think all we want to do is add force. I'm pretty sure. So add force, vector 3, we need a force. Well, new vector 3. This will be 0, 0, 0, so the first components, or the first parameter is x, I believe. How do I... Okay, x and y. Z is what we really need though. So, we're gonna go with 0.0100. And yeah, I know I have to put f after that. And we're going to copy that for negative x, for positive z, and for negative z. That should get us started. Let's see what happens. Hey, we got something happening there. It's a little slow, but it's working. Also, let's make the main camera a child of ball, and let's kind of center it. Like this. That didn't work at all. Oh, because hold on. I didn't align it. Now when the ball rolls around, the children should follow, which it does. However, I forgot to lock the rotation of the camera, so yeah. The ball's actually rolling and I'm getting sick. Let's not do How do I do that? There's like a lock transform or something. Let me decrease the size of these icons. They're ridiculously large. Alright. So yeah, never mind that. We're just gonna have to have a main camera that's not locked to the bowl. For now. Let me check something real quick. Actually, here's what we can do so we don't have to recompile this. Let's make a public float speed property. We'll give it a default of 0.05 f and just paste that in here. I've I spent some time in Uplink back when I started streaming more often. Yeah, that's a great game. I always get caught after I go into a bank every time. I've tried so many ways to prevent it. It's just not happening. Okay, then we shall what? Ah, the ball should have a speed option now. Why doesn't it, actually? I did clear the logs, I thought, but they somehow traced it. I don't know. I don't know. Why is this not visible to my editor? Oh, it can't be a property. It has to be a member. Forgot about that. At least I think so. Yeah, okay. So then, while we're playing, I can just adjust it on the fly. There it goes. We have a rolling ball. I think I need to make it bigger, honestly, because the shadow is a bit wonky. And maybe there's a way to change shadow resolution and all that. I don't know, but I don't know. Feels too small. So if I change this to like 0.5 or 0.25 instead, it's going to be a bit faster. And if I change it to 1, super fast ball. Whee! I can move the sun for sure. That's just the light source. I'm just worried about the resolution of the shadow. Like if I make this thing bigger, let's say 0.5 instead, the shadow looks much nicer. Of course, the sun itself, you know, you can adjust the you know, the lighting properties of that. In fact, I'm going to make this a little less yellow, a little like that. Maybe keep the intensity at a 1. Soft shadows, hard shadows. Oh, that's just lovely. That's just lovely. Yeah, we'll go soft shadows. Strength, resolution, bias. I don't know what that is. Oh, I guess it just explains itself there. So yeah, that's that. Okay, we have a ball. I still think scale matters. Just because of gravity and stuff. I guess that's how I guess that's what mass would affect. I need obstacles. I need an obstacle course here. Do I build it in here, or do I build it in Blender? Definitely Unity off the bat, because that's going to simplify and speed things up quite a bit. Let's get rid of the plane first, and let's instead create... Actually, no. Undo that. I want the plane. Let's just do this. Not that. Oops, that's not going to do anything. It's a 2D plane. 0.5. Okay, we have a long rectangular something or other. Rectangle. A long rectangular rectangle. There's a mouthful for you. Now let's get some cubes in here and build some walls and stuff like that. Make it nice and... Where did I go? There we go. That's the problem with planes. Only visible from one side. Alright. Walls. Create... cubes, I suppose. And how do we want to do this? Can I snap this stuff? But how do I turn on snapping? It's up here. Okay, there we go. Now that should actually let me do something like it still seems to be. Is it snapping, or do I just have the grid size really small? I can't tell. Well, one way to know would be to do this. Yeah, it's only doing 2 decimal places, so... You know what? When I just checked that, I want to say I had it at like 0.01. Yeah, I did. So let's do let's do 0.5 instead? There. Then when I move it, yeah, that's better. That's much better. Another thing we need is ambient light, because I, for one, hate seeing pure darkness in the shadows. So, oh, maybe that's the thing. Okay. Nope, not the thing. Okay. We're getting there. We're getting there. I think it needs to be like this. Then it won't be able to be completely invisible, right? Yeah, okay, good enough. Let me just turn the intensity of the sun down a bit. Maybe. Not shadows, not shadows. Alright, intensity. Just a little lower. So yeah, okay. That's the ambient light I wanted. So we'll do intensity like 0.75 or maybe 0.8. Alrighty. Now I can see... Yeah, that looks terrible. You know what? Whatever. It's just going to look terrible. First of all, if this is going to be a wall, we need to make it shorter. Let's scale it down to 0.2. You know what? I think I'm going to actually make that point... Yeah, that one needs to be way bigger. 0.5. That, you know what? The ball's too big now. Okay. Let's shrink the ball. Shrink the ball. That might work. Still need to make those walls bigger though. Actually, it's lined up perfectly nice, so that's fine. Let's go Z 0.25. That looks promising, actually. Yeah, maybe a little too thick, maybe 0.2. Keep it a bit like this. You know what? I'm going to make the grid snap a bit in half, actually. Is it 0.125? I think so. Not quite. Actually, maybe that matters. Cool. How do I duplicate? Did that do it? No. Control D? Yes. Wait a sec. Interesting. Why is that not lined up? Whatever. See, stuff like that really bugs me. Really bugs me. So I have this thing centered, right? It's a 0, 0, 0. I have the scale at 1. This thing's scaled at 0.5, and it lines up perfectly on this side. Oh, it doesn't. It doesn't. Never mind. It doesn't. That's fine. The sun's deceiving. See, if we do this, and then rotate the stupid thing. Yeah, there you see it. Okay. So we got part of our walls here. Obviously, if I was actually making a real course here, I'd probably just model it in Blender instead of trying to do this. Believe it or not, this is actually less time consuming for me. I can Blender, but I can't Blender fast. Make another cube, I guess. I mean, sphere, not cube. No, I meant cube. Let's duplicate this. It takes too long. Alright, let's reset everything and go back this way. Set our scale to what do we have here? 0.5, 0.2, 0.5, and 0.2. Okay. 0.5 this way, 0.2 this way. Move it up. I think. Yeah. And our Z is 0. It did not have the best reception, for sure. It was a lot of fun to make, but when it comes down to it, it's just not pleasing for the people. Final duplicate here. Okay, we have a cube. We have a playground. We have a playground. So let's move the camera to here. Maybe. and check it out. Forgot to increase the speed again, hold on. There we go. So that's a very weak prototype. It needs to roll way more. Like when I release it, it should definitely keep rolling. I think the way to modify that would be to apply a custom physics surface to this object and potentially to the ball. I don't know, rolling is not doing a great job here. I could try it with less mass, maybe? Let me play around with that. Let's do half the mass. Actually, quarter of the mass. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. Decrease the friction. I did something similar in like a shuffleboard game that I'm working on. But... okay. Why is it so fast? Oh, I just broke through the wall. Good job, me. Well, you know what that means. No discrete collision detection. With main objects in the game, you have to have continuous or something similar. Let's see if that actually... Let's see if I can still break through the wall. Okay, now it's way more... Oh, the mass is back to 1, that's why. Okay, let's try this. There we go. Yeah, I think mass is the answer, and it needs to be way more bouncy. Let's see. No more breaking through the wall, that's cool. Yeah, that's guaranteed to collide. Okay. And all that needs it is the ball. Cool. It's just, it's just kind of dumb. Can I paint textures on these things? I don't think I can. Not without like an add-on or something. No big deal. Okay, next step is to make the ground slippery so it keeps rolling. So let me do that. Alright, project. I'll just make this under material. Create new... Hello? Physics material. Basic ground. I don't know. There, and then we're going to apply this to the plane. There it is. Okay, dynamic friction, static friction, bounciness. Okay, this needs to be duplicated because ball needs to be bouncy. Ball needs to be bouncy, and bounciness, I'm assuming, goes up to 1. Make it 0.5, I don't know. And for the ground, we're going to make... What's the difference between dynamic and static? Let me look that up real quick. Dynamic is when the friction when used when already moving, it'll... Okay. Static is when it's laying still, so basically how hard it is to get it moving again. So those basically can be the same thing. I'll make them half that. And let's again change the mass to 0.5. I think it... Doesn't it need a little more drag than that? I guess not. Whatever, it's fine. Save. Let's see how it bounces. It needs to be more bouncy. Let's make it 0.8. It also needs less friction, I think. Make it the same as the floor. That's promising. Although, I don't think it should slide that much. It should definitely not continue to roll. But that's a start. What if we just do a light bounce? Okay, yeah, let's let's do that. Increase these to 0.5. It's still rolling. Why is it still rolling? Balls don't do that in real life. I mean, okay, I guess a perfectly smooth ball would. So how do we make it feel rough? I'm assuming we just increase the friction. 0.8 for everything. It's still going. How do you stop a ball from rolling? Do I have to do this with code? I might have to do this with code. Let me turn it back down to like 0.5 for everything. And then... I guess I don't have to make the physics perfect. But here's what we're gonna do. 0.5, 0.5, 0.8. Yes, okay. What we're gonna do is subtract, basically slow the thing down on a horizontal axis only every, I don't know, 10 milliseconds. We'll apply like an opposite force to it. Does that make sense? I think that way it'll at least come to a rest. Somewhat realistically. Okay. Slow it down there, bud. So, we need a time elapsed. Let's do this. Private float slow time elapsed equals 0. Then every frame we're going to increase it by the delta time, which is how many what's it called? This will explain it better. How many seconds since the last frame? So this is usually like 0.0 something, you know, 0.00 something. So this will give us a constant every whatever 10 milliseconds. So once if the slow time elapsed is greater than or equal to one would be 1 second. So what, 0.001 would be 10 milliseconds? I mean, I think, unless it's that. Hold on, 0.1 is 100 milliseconds. So 0.01 should be 10. Slow time elapsed back to 0. And then we want to add a negative force to it. Hold on. Only if it's moving greater than a certain speed. So first of all, we want to see what the speed is so we can just get an idea of what to do. So let's make this a public float. Absolute magnitude, I guess. Absolute horizontal magnitude. And every update we're going to say absolute horizontal magnitude equals rigid body dot, where are we at here? Oh, velocity is a vector 3, right? So that's fine. So I'm going to sum up the velocities x and z. Hold on. Yeah. Velocity dot x plus rb dot velocity dot z. And then we're going to get the absolute value of that. Well, hold on. Per item. So math.absolute value of this plus math.absolute value of that. And that'll give us the total absolute value of the velocity, the horizontal velocity, I believe. And that should update in the scene, hopefully. Switch back here. Let me switch game view to its own little thing. There we go. Alright. And over here, we should see this update. Yep, okay, there we go. And that is indeed absolute. So it looks like, let me get this thing up to speed. So basically when it's rolling at less than 1 absolute value, it needs to apply a force. And it looks like it's slowly decreasing at about like 0.01 per second. So we want to at least increase that by like 5 times. So I'd say we can decrease its speed by instead of 0.01 per second, I'd say 0.1 per second would be a better way of doing things here. So if we want to do that, 0.1 per second, then I guess this. Hold on. I still want to apply it every 100th of a second. So 0.1 times, basically, okay. Math is not my strong suit. I don't know if you can tell that or not. 0.01, no, 0.01 times, or I guess, yeah, times 0.01 is that. That seems like a really low number. I'm going to try 0.001 instead. So let's see. RB.add force, and this is going to be the opposite, remember. So new vector 3, and these values will be the RB.velocity, well, negative RB. Hold on. Actually, we want the opposite sign. So if it's negative, we want to do positive. If it's positive, we want to do negative. So, isn't there like a math function for that? Math.sign. Yeah, it's either okay. So I can just multiply by the negative sign of itself. So this will be 0.001f times mathf.sign rb.velocity.x, hopefully, and 0, and the same thing for z, 0.001f times mathf.sign rb.velocity.z. Hopefully that gives us some positive results here. Now, if anything, that's making it faster. So I don't think I did that right. Yeah, it's going 90, 91, 92. So yeah, it's speeding up. I've discovered the source of infinite energy, perpetual energy. So I don't think I did that right. Oh, I forgot to reverse the signs. Okay. There. Newbie mistake. Let's try this now. Yeah, okay. It's decreasing the same, though. So I think I need to go 0.1 instead. Yeah, that's much better. And that completely brought it to a halt. Very good. Okay, let's try this again. Coming back my way. Perfect. And I mean, we can always tweak how fast it decelerates itself, but that's fine. The only other thing I want to do here is not only if the time has elapsed, but and the absolute horizontal magnitude is greater than like a threshold of, I don't know, 0.001, I guess. Let me see what it actually looks like. Because we don't want to always be applying a negative force to this thing for no reason. Okay, so 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, and it's 0. Okay. So basically, I'd almost say point 0.5 or 0.05 actually. Let's do that. Okay, so we've got the deceleration physics going. What else can I do real quick before I sign off? Well, can fine-tune those physics a little bit more. And the friction, I mean, I don't know, I can go down to 0.25 with the ground, maybe? That's better. Except it decelerating a little bit. It's looking better, though. Like, that's almost realistic ball behavior to me. Yeah, actually, I think that's almost perfect for now. Cool. Okay. What's one more thing I can do since I got that kind of working? I might have the deceleration just a little bit too... Yeah, a little bit too much. Let me tweak that a bit. Let's make it 0.05. That should help. I don't know. There's like a point where it just slows down really quickly that I do not like, and I think that's due to the friction still. So, let me see. Ball 0.5, 0.25, I don't know. Maybe just for the ball? Oh, the ground is also 2.25, I forgot. Why is it still going? Oh, because it's under 0.05, isn't it? Yep, okay, let me fix that problem. This needs to be 0.01. It needs to constantly decrease this stupid thing. It's just too... whatever engine they use is just too... perfect with the smooth balls. Could have probably phrased that better. Alright, let's do... you know what? Something's up with this. It's not... Oh, I turned the speed back down. There we go. I guess it depends on the surface. I'll increase it just a little bit for now and then call it... Let's say 0.75. Wait, no, what was it? 0.05, so this needs to be like 0.075. And then... give this one final test. Story of my life. Coding is fun. That's gonna have to do. I mean, that's acceptable depending on what this is. Like, if it's concrete, it might actually even roll more on concrete, but that's all stuff we can tweak later. Yeah, I'm fine with that. But if it was grass, on the other hand, it might really slow down. So yeah, it is what it is. Alright, nighty night, folks. Thanks for hanging out, and maybe we'll continue this sometime. You never know. I get bored often. Later.